Hey, quick warning that I'm going to be talking about periods again in this video, so don't watch if you don't want to hear about them, I won't mind. Hi everyone, I'm Ronan and welcome to Now Z Here. Celebrating 3 months on T. 3. So everyone's up to speed on their Greek and Roman mythology, yeah? You know all those stories where the person is talking about how great they are, what a wonderful life they're having, and the gods hear that and go, this person needs to be knocked down a peg. Last month, in my 2-month update, I said that I thought I was done with periods. And I can just see it now, the goddess of menstruation looking down and laughing. You fool. So yeah, that wasn't true. And let me tell you, periods when you're on testosterone, pretty not fun. Like I also said before, mine were never super bad, and physically, I still wouldn't say it's a problem. But the emotional component. It's like in a couple of days beforehand, I suddenly become the stereotype of the person on their period. When I get frustrated so hard and so quickly, and then I get angry, and everything is frustrating. It was so intense and such a notable difference from how things were for me before that by the third time, it happened and I was like, oh, that's what's going on. Now, as a person is taking tea, it's expected that periods are going to drop off and stop happening at some point. I just haven't gotten there yet. And being aware of the emotional effects, the emotional component, makes it easier to deal with when that happens. Moving on from fluids and bodily functions. My voice has continued dropping. My voice has started to crack. My voice is definitely cracking when I pitch it high, like, hey! This also means that my head voice, when I sing, is starting to crack as well. And the emotions around this are pretty complicated and always sort of swapping out between each other. I first noticed it actually at a gig while I was singing a song that requires me to go up into that part of my range. Reaching out. And honestly, when it first happened, the thought in my head and the overall feeling was, well, here we go. It started. Knew it was coming. So that's one of the feelings. And I think that having thought about it for so long, and having that be really one of my last hurdles that I had to get over mentally, knowing that I was going to have to go through the vocal change and sort of having accepted that already beforehand makes it a little easier. So the first emotion, the sort of neutral setting is, well, yeah, here we go. The second emotion, the kind of low end, is a little bit scared. And maybe scared is even too strong a word. Apprehensive. Because a change is starting, and change is scary. That's just a fact of human life, human psychology. Any radical change, any change where we can't know the outcome for certain or when exactly that outcome is going to occur, that not knowing can be a frightening thing. So every once in a while, every so often, I'll think about the vocal change and go, oh. But if I'm honest, that's happening less often than the neutral feeling of, well, here we go, or the positive feeling of being excited about it. Because that's the other thing, because change, even when it is scary, even when you're not certain of the outcome, if it's a change that you're ready for and one that you want, it's exciting. And also, story time. Way back when I was playing a lot of solo acoustic gigs, just, me and my guitar, I never disliked my singing voice. But occasionally I'd be singing a song, and usually it was one that is typically sung in a male range, and in my head I'd kind of go, it would be really nice if I sounded like Jason Mraz right now. And there's been a couple of times when I'm performing these days, and I kind of hear that in my singing voice, and I get really happy. I do the little dance. So yeah, excitement. Excitement is a part of it too. Update from the doctor's appointment, because I went in for my 6-weekish to month-ish check-in. This is where they take a little bit of blood and they test your hormone levels to see whether everything's on track where we want it to be. One of the things we wound up talking about that I didn't expect was what exactly that track is. Now, I want to be very clear about this. When you're taking hormones, when you're taking any kind of hormones, it is not possible to completely predict the changes that are going to happen. And therefore, it is not possible to completely control the changes that are going to happen. Some things are just going to be. However, and this is the part I didn't know, when you're taking testosterone, there's an extent to which you can control the level to which those changes occur. By which I mean, do you want to turn yourself into the most masculinized version of yourself that you can be, or would you prefer to stay in a androgynous zone, you know, as much as it is possible to control that sort of thing? I didn't even know this was an option. So I did have to think about it for a minute or two. And then the doctor came up with an interesting way of putting it, which helped me a lot. It was, well, think of it like a dial. Do you want to turn it all the way up to 10? To which my immediate reaction was, I'd kind of like to stay around a 7. And the way in which we accomplish that is by making sure that the T levels are actually on a lower scale than if we were going for that turn it up to 10 masculinization. And as it turns out, my levels were right where we wanted to be for that, so I'm still on the little testim tubes, and we're sticking with that until my next checkup, which is going to be sometime in August. Anyway, I think that's about all I've got for this time. Thank you for joining me, and please subscribe to see what's coming up next. I'm Ronan, and that's Wadsworth. Always be changing.